let's rebuild our front brakes. Rebuilding the front calipers on the Miata, probably the easiest rebuild I've ever done. Aside from having access to compressed air, you don't really need any special tools. Let's start by disassembling the caliper. Separate the two pieces of the caliper and remove the slide pins. We're eventually going to tear everything down, but make sure you leave the brake bleeder in place. This needs to be temporarily left in place so when we apply pressure to release the piston from the bore, it doesn't escape out of the bleeder. There's not really a right way to disassemble the caliper, so after you've watched the video, feel free to approach it however you'd like. You might encounter an extra bolt or a seal that I didn't film during the disassembly process, but not a big deal. Go ahead and remove those as you get to them. Grab a pair of pliers and remove the old boots. If the rubber is too brittle, you can go ahead and stretch this boot and clip it with a pair of dikes. Once everything's been taken apart, we can go ahead and remove the piston from the caliper bore. Apply a small amount of compressed air to this hole and the piston should release itself from the bore. It's a good idea to place some cardboard or wood between the caliper and the piston so when it ejects itself, it doesn't damage the piston. I did not do this here, so do as I say and not as I do. And make sure to watch your fingers. With the piston removed, go ahead and remove the bleeder screw. Next, we'll need to locate and remove a rubber seal located inside of the bore. With everything disassembled, now is a good time to clean up the existing caliper and piston. Alright, let's rebuild the caliper. Start by replacing the seals on the caliper body. Every rubber seal is going to need to be lubricated. Pay attention to what that seal actually comes into contact with. For example, the seal inside of the bore is going to be lubricated with brake fluid, but the rubber boots that come into contact with the caliper slides are going to be lubricated with grease. Just think before you lubricate. Install the seal into the caliper bore and ensure that it's sitting flush. To install the piston seal, I found the easiest way has been to slide the seal over the piston and move it all the way to the exposed face of the piston. Once the base has been secured, I expand the piston boot and slide the piston back into the caliper. Once you have a positive seal, you can go ahead and press the piston back into place. Reinstall the new slide pins and torque them to spec. With the pins installed, you can reassemble the caliper. That's it! You've rebuilt a set of front calipers. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to stay up to date with new content.